approach.
And Texas passes a law that protects patients from huge medical bills when hospitals and insurance companies can't agree on coverage.
I guess we never thought something like this could happen to us. And then when it did, we understood, like, people are being exploited.
Now this news. Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Janine Herbst. Amid heightened tensions between the U.S. and Iran says it's increasing its stocks of enriched uranium, surpassing a stockpiling limit set by its nuclear deal, raising pressure on Europeans trying to save that accord after the U.S. withdrew. But as NPR's Jeff Brumfield reports, in the short run, it won't radically change the time Iran needs to make a nuclear weapon.
Under a 2015 nuclear deal, Iran was supposed to limit its stockpile of low-enriched uranium to under 300 kilograms. But last month, on the first anniversary of the U.S. withdrawal from the deal, Iran began amassing uranium again. Now it says it will cross the 300-kilogram line in 10 days. Ali Vaez is with the International Crisis Group. He says Iran's move is not about nuclear weapons, it's about economic relief.
This is clearly a strategy to compel the remaining parties to the nuclear deal to throw Iran a lifeline in the face of strangulating U.S. sanctions.
Other experts say crossing the threshold won't dramatically speed up Iran's ability to make a nuclear weapon. Jeff Brumfield, NPR News, Washington.
Meanwhile, the Pentagon says it will send an additional 1,000 troops to the Mideast for what Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan says are defensive purposes over concerns about a threat from Iran. Authorities say a suspect in a shooting at a federal courthouse in Dallas this morning died after being taken into custody. From member station KERA, Saida Hassan has more.
Authorities say downtown Dallas is secure after a shooting at around 8:40 Central Time this morning. Law enforcement responded immediately after a shooter opened fire on a federal building. The suspect, a 22-year-old male, was shot and taken to Baylor Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Matt DeSarno is special agent in charge of the FBI Dallas office.
At this time, we have no information indicating that there are other shooters, other threats to the community.
Apart from the suspect, no one else was injured in the shooting. For NPR News, I'm Saida Hassan in Dallas.
The number of measles cases in the U.S. has jumped to more than 1,000. And here's Richard Harris reports.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention tallied another 22 cases of measles as of last week. That shows at least a temporary slowdown in the number of new cases. The highly infectious disease has spread mostly among unvaccinated people in and around New York City. The cases are concentrated in an ultra-Orthodox Jewish community with the encouragement of outside groups that oppose vaccination. Last week, New York State passed a law that ends religious exemptions for vaccines. Measles was declared